Hey guys, I want to talk about something really quick. That's usually the point of these videos, isn't it? I actually want to talk about two things, and that is one, trying to pour from an empty cup, and two, the people that you surround yourself with. Because these two things are so important when you are trying to better yourself, trying to get sober, trying to lose weight, trying to change habits in your life, trying to become a better person, just making any sort of difficult changes in your life. If you are hanging around with people that are engaging in the very behavior that you're trying to stay away from or that you're trying not to do, you're setting yourself up for failure. Just like right out the gate. You have to be around people that not only support you, but are also engaging in healthy behaviors as well. Because it's all well and great for someone to say that they support you and then to do something in front of you or around you, or to have something in front of you or around you that's going to mess you up, you know? If you're an addict, you can't be hanging around with people that are drinking or smoking or doing drugs. Like, you can't do it. If you're trying to eat better, you can't be hanging out with people that are eating shit all the time and that are going out partying and drinking and doing all that stuff all the time. If you want to start moving more and doing things, you can't be hanging out with people that are just couch potatoes that don't ever want to get up and do stuff. It just doesn't work. Because then it's just going to be a chore trying to convince them to go do stuff with you. Or they'll convince you not to go do it. You need to get around people that are moving and that are wanting to do things with you, to go outside and to play, and that aren't gonna hold you back in your old lifestyle. You have to recognize that, like, in these moments of trying to make this behavior change, like, you are yourself weak. I mean, I hate using that word. Just like I hate using the word hate. Okay, so I don't like using that word, weak, but I feel like this is the only way that I can explain this. And so when you are first making these changes, it's very hard, it's very awkward, it's different, it's unusual. We are creatures of habit. It's very hard to break habits. And so you have to realize that in the beginning stages of whatever behavior change you're trying to make, you are weak, and you need to treat yourself very gently and softly and not try to overextend yourself or ask too much of yourself, because this behavior change is going to take everything that you've got. And so if you're handing stuff over here, if you're paying attention to this over there, if you're, got all these people around you that are sucking the life out of you, you're not gonna make it. You're not going to make it. And so you have to, for your survival, you have to get in the middle of the boat. You have to be surrounded by people, okay, that are stronger than you and that are supportive and on the path of bettering themselves also. And so they call it like being in the middle of the boat. Like, imagine yourself with all yourself, and then you've got all the people around you, and you have all that protection right there, so that if anything ever happens, if the boat gets shaky, you're not going to go falling off the edge. You're right in the middle of your support system, and you're not going to fall off the edge and drown. So you got to get in with people that are trying to do the same things that you're doing, even though it might be uncomfortable, because I know how hard it is to feel like worthy of being around people that are like what you perceive as better than you, or that are doing the things that you think you can't do. I know that it's kind of scary, because I felt this myself, especially when I first started coaching, meeting all of these coaches that I just think are like absolutely amazing, and I'm just like, I'm not that amazing. Like, what if they don't like me? Or like, you just don't really feel like you're on their level, or that you are, but this was my situation, but you haven't fully like unlocked it yet. And so it is kind of scary to change your circle and to spend time with different people that may intimidate you, but you have to be around people that you think are really fucking amazing, and that maybe intimidate you and make you a little bit uncomfortable, because that's what's going to pull you ahead. And these people, they can reach down and give you a hand up, because they've got themselves on solid ground already. So it's not like you can't ever like you can only hang out with people on your level, because it's like we have to help each other. We do have to help each other out, but you need to wait until you're fully stable in your situation before you can give to anybody else or reach a hand out to pull somebody else up. You have to be very, very firm in that, and you have to really know that, because sometimes I feel like we think that we're firm in something, but we're not. And so I feel like it takes at least a year of engaging in whatever behavior or lifestyle you're trying to live before you can help somebody else. And even then, it's still kind of like, for the rest of your journey, it's still kind of like you have to really judge who is worth the time and the energy for doing these things, because people will suck you dry if you are giving to the wrong ones, and you will lose everything that you have if you don't draw that boundary and figure out who. Dogs are barking. Hold on. Okay, I don't remember what I was saying, but basically it's important for your circle of friends to be people that are going to celebrate you, make you feel easy to love, that make you feel like you can be great too. That's another one of my favorite quotes is that, how does it go? Like, stay away from people who belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great make you feel like you can be great too. I think that's a Mark Twain quote. But I think that one runs through my head on a regular basis. So when you're making big changes in your life, it kind of sucks, but it's like you have to weed people out. And that's not to say forever. I've had people that kind of like we go our separate ways for a little bit, and then we kind of come back together again. And then there's other people that we go our separate ways and I never see or hear from them again. And it sucks and it hurts sometimes, but it is what's necessary for your growth. And this kind of ties into the whole pouring from an empty cup thing. You cannot be trying to help people or hanging around people that drain you when you yourself are trying to make the change. Like, so often I feel like we want to help other people, yet we can't even help ourselves. And so a lot of times I feel like you have to really like get yourself on stable ground before you can be the person that gives the hand up. Because it's not like we should just cut people out of our lives for not having like the same habits that we do. But you do have to cut people out of your life who don't have the same values that you do. If someone wants to try and make these changes with you or be better with you, then it's like, that's a leaf that you hold on to, you know? Have you ever seen that Medea video? I'll link it below, but you need to watch it if you haven't, because she talks about the people in your life being, the roots or the branches or the leaves. And it's a whole metaphor thing, and it's just perfect for this situation. That's one of the things she says. That's a leaf that's trying to hang on, so you keep that one, you keep that person that wants to do this with you. But if someone's gonna just wants to stay where they are, back in the old behaviors that you don't want to engage in anymore, then you gotta let that leaf fall. Let it fall to the ground and let it die, like let it turn brown and let it go away, and you'll grow some new beautiful leaves that want to stick around and that want to make this beautiful picture with you. And so if they're going to be working to do these things next to you, that's fine. But if they're expecting you to help them in some way when you haven't even fully got yourself on solid ground, that's just not going to work. You're going to end up dragging each other down, because every time you mess up, there's the chance that the other person is going to mess up with you. Or every time they mess up, there's a chance that you're going to mess up with them. And most often, the two of you will enable each other if one of you is not on solid, stable ground. And this is especially true for addiction, more so than some of the other stuff. But I've lived this. And I've known so many people who literally just completely set themselves back and completely just let go of everything that they've worked for, so that because they went to go help somebody else thinking that they were ready for that. and you can't. Like, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, you have to make sure that you have your stuff together and that you're in a good place and that you're solid in your changes before you can go and help somebody up from the behaviors that you were once at. This goes for with so many different behaviors, you know? You cannot help somebody do something that you have not yourself done. It just doesn't work that way. And I know that it's hard to like cut out friends and family, but I feel like it's so important for your survival, really, is what it comes down to, because this is your life. This is our life, you know? I don't believe it's the only one we get, but for as far as we know, it's the only one we get. And even if it's not the only one we get, I still believe that we should live it to the fullest and really enjoy it and be the people that we want to be. And when you're coming up from the bottom, when you're trying to climb up to the top from the bottom, like it's about survival. I'm telling you this. Like when you're trying to get clean, when you're trying to lose weight, when you're trying to make these changes, it's a battle for your life. And I'm trying very hard not to like be super serious about all this stuff anymore, because it is fun. It is fun and it feels good, and it's not all about like go, 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 super motivation and pumped up all the time. But it really is a matter of like your life and the quality of it and your survival. And I feel like I fought my ass off to get where I am today. And had I slowed down and helped all of the people that claimed they needed my help, I would not be here. There are certain situations and certain relationships that you have to get out of if you want to make it to where you're trying to get to. You cannot get sucked down in the mud and in the negativity. You cannot. You cannot let someone guilt you into staying in some sort of situation that is not good for you. You can't do it, you guys. You have to get out of whatever bad situation that you are in for your survival. You have to get out of the bad relationships in your life for your survival, so that you can be in a positive, happy, full place, and then you can help people. You can't help everyone. It's not your job to help everyone, but you can help some people and give back in that way. But at the beginning of most of these journeys, you have to really be selfish and really focus on yourself and just kind of like, I'm sorry guys, I'm not, put your blinders on. I'm sorry. I love all of you, but I'm here. I'm focused on what I need to do, and I am my responsibility. I am my only responsibility, and I have to get out of this. I have to change this. You have to have this mindset when you're making these changes, and know that you're not responsible for everybody else's happiness, because people will try and blame you and guilt you into all sorts of things. But you have to realize that everybody is capable of taking care of themselves, and if everybody did that, then the world would be a much better place, honestly, and we would have a lot less drama and a lot less negativity if everybody just took responsibility for their own shit. So you can't enable people, and you can't walk people's journey for them. You can certainly offer words of wisdom, but you cannot go out of your way to be helping everybody and anybody, thinking that you're a good soul, thinking that you're doing a good thing. Because if you are draining yourself to help another, you make that person a thief. Iyanla Vanzant said something along those lines. If you are giving when you're already in a deficit, that person unknowingly becomes a thief, because they've just taken from you. They are taking from your reserves, they are taking from what is not theirs. They are taking from what is yours. And oftentimes when people ask you for help, they're not asking for you to take from there. If they knew that, oftentimes they would feel guilty because they did that. And then also, that's what builds resentment, because you're giving that which you do not have, and you're draining yourself, and you're just setting yourself up for burnout. And so it's not a positive thing to do that for somebody. Another thing that she says is that what's like the whole saying, my cup runneth over, what comes out of my cup, that's for you guys. The overflow is for you guys. What's in my cup, that's for me. The whole damn thing. The whole thing. My cup has to be full. And what runneth over is what I give to all of you. And so I hope this is making sense. I feel like this is kind of an abstract idea that I'm trying to explain to you, because I don't want to like call out certain people in certain situations, but it's just something that I've witnessed so many times where people fall backwards because they decided to either stay with somebody or stay in a situation, try to help somebody before they had really fully got themselves on their feet. And they claim that it is all about like love and I need to help this person or I need to be here for this person, and it's not true. That person is their responsibility. It is their job to get themselves out of the situation that they're in. End of story. None of us are responsible for taking that responsibility away from somebody else. And in fact, when you do that, you're not giving them a gift. You're actually doing the opposite when you enable someone in that way, because then they're not learning how to solve that situation for themselves. They're not having to learn the hard way, which sometimes has to happen for the lesson to really click in. And if you keep giving these handouts, that's really what they are, you're doing both of you a disservice, because you're draining from your cup and then you're also enabling them and making it so that they can't learn how to solve their own problems, because we are all capable of this. And so, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of out of words, but I hope that that makes sense. It's just, you have to consider yourself a fragile being sometimes and take every precaution to make sure that you reach your goals and that you're successful, because why would you even want to take a chance most of the time? There are situations where there's exceptions to this, but it's like, why would you even want to take a chance on seeing yourself fail or fall backwards or whatever? Like, don't even test your strength until you like know you're on solid ground. I mean, that's the best advice that I can give people for surviving through these very hard changes and making it to the other side. The changes that you like really desperately want to make, but you keep falling back and you keep falling back and you keep falling back. You have to get in with a circle of awesome people, and you can't be given until you have really filled yourself back up and healed. And it's not selfish, it's not something that you need to feel guilty about, it's not something that you should let other people make you feel guilty about, but you need to make decisions from this place of I matter. I am number one in my book. It is 100% okay for you to be number one in your story, because this is your story. This is your life, and what do you want it to be? Don't take a chance on people that you know in your heart are going to suck you dry, or staying in situations that you know are going to sabotage, or that even could possibly sabotage what you're working for, because you just got to stay on that path and just put your blinders on and just do what you got to do and take care of yourself. And if people want to come with you, that's great, but if they don't, bye. Like, see ya on the other side, cause I'm fucking out of here, you know? I gotta go. I gotta go. I got places to go, lessons to learn. I have a person I'm trying to become here, and so I can't stay back here in this shithole with all of you. Like, no offense, sorry if this is rude, but it's just like the way that it is. Like, you just kind of gotta take care of yourself, and you have to have your back, and you can't let anybody drag you down or pull you backwards or make you feel guilty for not sticking around in their shit or co-signing their bullshit. You gotta go, you know, in those situations. And so if you need a community of people, I have definitely got that for you. That's the main reason that I have made it this far, because I hit a point where I felt like I had really outgrown everybody around me, and I felt kind of lonely, and like I didn't really have friends, and then Beachbody came into my life, and through coaching and through networking, I have met a lot of people that are on my level or ahead of me that are willing to hang around and help me out and support me and remind me what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how great I am. I have people that pull me out of my pity party when I'm doing that, people that are straight up with me and don't co-sign my bullshit. That is my new favorite saying, thank you Amy Silverman, co-sign people's bullshit. Like, I'm not gonna do it, and you shouldn't expect others to do that for you. You want people to tell you the truth. You want people to be real with you and to be honest with you and to say what needs to be said. You don't want people that are just gonna pat you on the back and say like, it's okay, like, and not the kind of like, that's not, I don't mean that like people that support you, but people that don't give it to you how it is and allow you to stay stuck where you are. Those are not the kind of people that you want around you. And so I have a community of people that are pretty freaking awesome, and I know that I've heard from others that it seems intimidating, but I guarantee you these are like the best people I've ever met in my life. And although they're all beautiful and they seem all like fantastic and amazing, like they have superpowers, which they are fantastic, well, they do have all those things, but so do all of us. They're no different than the rest of us. And they started where a lot of you are starting, and so they know what it's like to be in your shoes. They know what it's like to be a beginner at the beginning of this journey. They know what it's like. They know how to get you here. We can give you the steps and the tools, but you have to do it. And it's the same thing, is that we're gonna hand you the stuff, but we're not gonna walk the path for you. You have to walk the path for you. But we're gonna be here cheering you on the whole way, and if you ever need help, or you ever need motivation, or if you ever need guidance, we've got that covered. So if you're ready to make some changes, if you're ready to get in with a group of people that are really doing this thing and that are really gonna support you and tell you the truth, send me a message and I'll get you signed up. I've got tools. Even if you just need to talk about like being sober or any of that stuff, like I'm up for talking about that too. And we do actually have like a little bit of an online group for people that are trying to do that. However, I would recommend going to like NA meetings or AA meetings or whatever your thing is, because I mean, those sure, NA is really my foundation for a lot of the things that I talk about. I still use a lot of the sayings even today. A lot of the concepts that I learned going into those rooms and listening to those people talk is a lot of the reason for my success. NA is definitely my foundation. And then as I grew and changed, I now kind of use Beachbody as my support, because it is very similar. It is like a support group type thing, except for it's online, although we do meet up in person and hang out and whatnot. And so I think that's why this works so well, is because of that, because it is kind of like a support group type thing, and people can come and lay their stuff out here and share ideas and get advice and learn from people that are higher up, or that have done this thing a little bit longer than the newbies. So I'm gonna quit talking now because this video is getting really long, like all of my videos, and so I don't know if you guys actually like watch these whole things. I put them up and I just, you know, like just put it out there in the universe. And so I don't know if you guys watch the whole things, but if you do, round of applause for you guys. Thanks for supporting me. But I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make dinner, so send me a message if you need help. I'm always here. Bye guys.